This video is going to be very hard for me. And that is using the iPod 7, or I already did that. Go check that out here. That was accidental promotion. Using the iPod Touch 5th generation in 2019. Now, that means I am not allowed to use my phone. I'm not allowed to use any of that stuff. And it started around like 420, it's 424 right here. This is going to be difficult, and to add to that challenge, I'm not allowed to use any device that runs higher than iOS 9. So that means this device is El Cap. MacBooks don't really count though. I'm not allowed to use, there's a bunch of devices laying down here. I'm not allowed to use any of those except for like the iPhone 4S, which is still cheating because it's an iPhone. So basically I'm allowed to use like this and like an iPad and obviously my computers and stuff, but I'm not sure about this, but I have to do it. So yeah, let's get started. iOS 9 completely destroyed these older iPods, and I have a feeling that that's just going to be something that I'm going to have to work with. I can downgrade to iOS 8. But I don't want to do that because I want to be able to take advantage of all of the newer features and stuff. I want to just be able to see all the features and stuff of iOS 9, especially because it's a lot more modern. It's a lot slower, but you can use a lot more apps on it. Now, normally with these iPods and stuff like that, I use the lightning headphones, and you can see those lightning jacks. You probably think, oh yeah, that would work fine. I just need to move some papers here real quick. So here's some normal headphones. And here are the lightning jack ones. So if I plug this into here, yeah, beautiful. It requires a device. These do. They require a device running iOS 10, and this only gets up to iOS 9. So, yeah, I can't use these. I'm stuck with the jacked versions, like the headphone jack, 3.5 millimeter, which is fine by me, but still, just wanted to point that out. Okay, this is something I will say I love about the older cinema displays is that you don't need an Apple keyboard to put the brightness up and down. And the reason is because I'm going to put an Apple keyboard here soon, but I don't have any way to connect it. I don't have any Bluetooth on, oopsies. I don't have any Bluetooth on here yet. If I open this up here, you can see first of all, there's no Bluetooth here. Then if I open network, you'll see I'm very limited with what I can. iPhone USB, there's nothing plugged in here. Okay, well, it just froze. Beautiful. Network. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's not responding. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Get out of here. There we go. So yeah, I've got two Ethernet ports. One's connected to the Mac Mini, which is doing Wi-Fi stuff. Yeah, apply please. Yeah. And the other one is not doing anything. And the FireWire is obviously not doing anything as well. So yeah, that kind of sucks a little bit. But what I was going to say though is that I love how you don't need an Apple keyboard to change the brightness, as there are buttons on the side of the actual thing here to, oh dear, it's not in focus. Like you can see there are a bunch of touch buttons on the side here, and it keeps going way up when I don't want it to. Like you can see, you just touch these and it adjusts the volume on the screen here, which is really nice. Now, I know I said that I wasn't going to use these other two iPods, like for, where are they? Here's one, here's the other. I know I said I wasn't going to use these other two. It just went on me for the flip up feature. But I do want to actually show you something that's different about these two over this one. It's small, but it's funny. Now, on the iPod 7, which natively allows you to have a battery percentage when you plug it into charge, and yes, it's a sucky angle because I don't have good camera equipment. You can see it says 84% charged. It tells you the percentage charged. Now, if you have the iPod 6, which doesn't actually let you show the battery percentage, apparently it doesn't do anything. What? There we go. You can see it says 93% charged. It shows the same charging thing. Now, on the iPod 5, says battery charging. On the older iPod 5s, and eventually this device had it too. Back then on iOS 9, it would just say battery charging for the battery. It would not tell you the percentage on there because they wanted to keep that hidden, even though it doesn't really matter because it does say, oopsies. Even though it doesn't really matter because I have enabled the battery percentage on the top anyways. But yeah, that's just how it is for the older ones. It's kind of odd how that works. Well, you might think it's very late and that I was, again, not doing what I was supposed to with this YouTube video and not supposed to go really close to like 9 o'clock. You can see here, it is 6:26. Sunset is at 5 something where I live, which really sucks. No, I don't live in Alaska. Yeah, it just sucks where I am. I'm like really annoyed about it actually, but what can you do? It is 12:28, and yeah, it's time for me to go to bed. Day 1 has been completed. Something I do want to point out quick is the battery percentage is going to stick at like 99, and that is just a very unfortunate side effect with older iPod Touches. Basically, any iPod that you force the battery percentage on, such as the first through the sixth, all of them don't support battery percentages natively. You have to actually hack into the files and stuff to get it enabled. All of them will suffer from the same issue where when it's fully charged, you unplug it and it goes down to 99%. The only one that is immune to that problem is the 7th gen, and that is because Apple has officially supported the battery percentage on that one. So keep that in mind. I love how there are just some areas that are mainly free of ice, like where I'm standing. And yet over here, this is the driveway. So today, it's day 2 of using the iPod 5, and so far it's not been too bad actually. I thought it would have been worse, but mainly it's because I've used my computer yesterday almost entirely, because there was a stream that I was watching, the stream that started at 7 and it ended around 12:10. So, I remember talking about this last time when I had 70 subscribers. I hit 70 subscribers, so yeah, thank you guys for that. You guys are really kind. I have 170. Seriously, guys, I just gotta thank you for that. Like, seriously. So yeah, it's still day 2, the iPod Touch, and so far it's not been too difficult, although it has been a lot harder than it needs to be, and that is because the apps that I run on here are slightly older, and they crash somewhat often. The YouTube app on iOS 9 isn't 100% stable. The Snapchat app is not stable very much at all. The SoundCloud app is very stable. I've had no trouble. The YouTube Studio app, again, same thing. But yeah, honestly though, I've just got to say I love the design of this iPod Touch. I just have to say it though, that the blue iPod design that was the 5th gen is amazing to me. I love the way that these older ones look. And it's so dim on the camera. Like, it doesn't even show anything on here. I have to like go way high out. It's pretty cool to see how the blue design has kind of evolved over time. Now, something I did not mention about this iPod Touch is how good the battery life has been. I've had it plugged in every now and then, but so far it hasn't dropped under 80%. So that's pretty good actually. It's probably because when I was little I didn't use it as often as I used the 6, so the battery hasn't degraded as much. So that makes sense. I will say that the battery accuracy is not great though. It was at 84. I plug it in, it goes down to 65. The iPod 5, I do remember, had a horrible battery. Like, look at that. It had a horrible battery accuracy. Okay, I'm gonna officially say that I'm seriously getting so annoyed with this thing. A text message appeared, so I'm like, oh, I'll swipe down just to see what the rest of it said. It froze, and then it tried to open messages, and then it froze again, and then just everything crashed. That happens a lot with the older iPods and even some of the other A5 devices, so just keep that in mind. So, I will say that there is another thing that does bug me about this, and that is it's only got half a gig of RAM. That means that many apps just won't stay open. Like, you know how you close an app, you open another one, then you do a little bit of things in there, you close it, open another one, it's still basically where it was. Since there's only half a gig of RAM, it really can't hold that much, so it just closes it. I've noticed that several times with the YouTube app. Okay, so it is 4:05, but I have to be somewhere, and it's probably going to be mostly through the night by the time I get back. And I have to bring the iPod with me, so yeah. The difficult part is this thing can't go off, or else I probably will get in trouble. And there's no silent mode. Oh, that's beautiful. This was the only iPod that didn't have it, that like runs a modernish iOS. Okay, I'm just going to make a correction here, and I found this out later this day. You can actually put on silent mode if you put the ringer volume all the way down. I did not know that, and that does not exist anymore on the iPod Touch 7th gen. I used the iPod somewhat heavily, and it actually was at 100% until around 9 something. I can't really remember at this point. It says 911 there, but I took that, and then it was still at 100 for some time. So yeah, just keep that in mind with the battery. It's pretty good if you get one that's not as used. So it is at 90 right now. $90. Yeah, I'm surprised it stayed at 90. You can see we are fully charged up and ready for tomorrow. So hey guys, it's day 3 9:04 a.m. currently, and my iPod is charging. It is charging though at 99% right now. I don't know if it will show up. Oh, nope, now just fully charged. So far this challenge actually, well, that's way bright with the camera, but so far this challenge actually hasn't been too difficult. The only thing that really has been a drag with this has been like slowness issues. Like obviously being an iPod 5 and it just lost focus. Yeah, being an iPod 5, it's not gonna be the fastest thing in the world, but Apple really killed this thing with iOS 9. My goodness. So here I am again with the iPod Touch 237. The battery's at 91%, so that's pretty cool that it's lasting this long. Normally my phone won't even last this long usually. And I've been doing the same tasks that I would normally on like a phone. So yeah, the batteries I don't think seem to degrade as fast as they did on the new ones. I will say that is a pretty big plus. Set an alarm for 6:25 a.m.
Okay, I set an alarm for 6:25 a.m.
Yes, I know I did not record much for today, but it would have been boring. You have just been seeing me playing Minecraft all the time. Now, by the end of the day, you can see we're sitting at 75% right now. And at the end of the day, that's not bad. Now, basically, I received one of my Christmas gifts today that I was supposed to test, and it ended up working. There's going to be a video on that later on. But yeah, that's basically all I did that day. If you want to see day 4, then you can just see that video. Yes, I know you're seeing this very late, and it is 10:35. I didn't record anything today, and that is because I was really busy, and that is because also this MacBook here, this one, I just got in the mail. So you'll be seeing a video on that, and that's where day 4 pretty much was for me. So yeah, using this was pretty good. The battery did get quite low, but otherwise it took a very long time for it to. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, it is the next day. I never pay attention anymore. I need to check back in the footage. But yeah, my MacBook Pro that I thought was working perfectly is not. Now, it is currently booting up into the Mac OS. It did just install some updates. Yeah, kind of sucks actually. And I'll show you what happens when it's done booting up. So as you can see here, I've got a disk here. Let's say I want to put it in. Yeah, it doesn't go in. But that's something that I found out, is that if I move it up like this, it's kind of weird how it works. Yeah, there it goes. Now it works. The drive otherwise is fully operational, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't really use DVDs that much on my spare MacBook, so I don't really care. But on my main MacBook, that would bother me a lot. One reason why, okay, first of all, I need to talk about my iPod 5. This is the video after all about it. It's been doing pretty good. So it's actually been really good, and so far I've had really no issues other than it being slow, of course. So let me grab my new MacBook here. This is my 2014 MacBook Air. I would probably never edit a video on my MacBook Pro, but because it's obviously old, but I just put it on there anyways because why not? I mean, like, it's just a 2010 MacBook. I mean, like, it can run. I mean, sure, it can run the software. Where's my stupid SD card? Oh, come on, where did it go? This isn't funny. Found it, kind of an idiot. So, I'm gonna just see, I'll put in some footage here. This is 1080p at 60 frames a second. So this isn't gonna be smooth. It probably won't edit very smoothly, but I'm hoping that it will edit worse than this Mac Pro will, because if it edits at full 60 frames a second, then I will be very annoyed that I even got the Mac Pro. Let's pull my latest video here, since I keep the footage. Let me see. This video is 60 frames a second, right? My previous video. Nice tongue. Oh, front-facing camera isn't at 60. So if I extend that out somewhat. Let's go over the things that do work with this. Okay. Thank goodness that it edits like crap in 60 frames per second. Like, look at this. Now, every app is stable, which is pretty good, actually. Every app is completely stable, even the... You can see how slow that is. That's a good thing, because I was kind of hoping that this wouldn't be as powerful as my Mac Pro, and it isn't. Even though it gets a newer OS than my Mac Pro does for some reason. And it even has the new Siri thing that I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to get on my Mac Pro, but I couldn't really do that. So that kind of sucked. Okay, guys. It's apparently day 5. I just checked. And yeah, my iPod Touch is doing pretty... Ooh, it's pretty bright. But it's doing pretty good. It's at 64%. And so far, no troubles. Except for it being slow. Of course, though, that's just expected. I mean, it's an old device. It's day 6 currently. It's 8:35. Yes, it's kind of late, but it was kind of busy today. I want to point out a bug. So you can see like this notification right here is just not, it's kind of messed up. This one right here doesn't have any context. Like, it's just some weird bugs. It's not the iPod's fault, but it is the YouTube app's fault from the iOS 9 version. It's the last version that supported it. That version obviously had some bugs. The iPod Touch 5th gen has been kind of a nightmare, and that is, I had to do my homework at school, and I had to load our little textbook online, ran the textbook program at 2 frames a second, and it crashed once. It was super difficult just to even view a PDF file. So, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's one thing if you're gonna get one of these. Seriously though, please don't. So it's time for me to go to bed, and the verdict of the iPod so far is, it sucks. Yeah, don't buy one. Yes, I know I've been recording more at night, but that's because I haven't had other time. Yes, I know, I barely record anything, but tomorrow I'll be recording quite a bit more because it's the last day. It's day 7 for me today. Day 8 will be tomorrow, which means by the end of the school day, I'll be done with the challenge. Another complaint, I will say, the iPod Touch alarms don't go off if the device has its ringer all the way down, which is not the case anymore with newer phones. Keep that in mind. I'm glad I didn't turn the alarm off on this phone. I forgot to, and it went off, and I would have overslept if it didn't. So, yeah, technically call it cheating, but I also am just lazy. Okay, guys, yeah, there's a pretty big background behind me, but I need to do this video and finish this up. So, what do I think about the iPod 5? I will just say that it was a really, really miserable week. It prevented me from being able to do my homework, so I had to spend extra time out of that. It prevented me from being able to listen to music correctly as it kept crashing. It prevented me from being able to view all my Snapchat stories that I watched because it didn't work like that on the older Snapchat versions. It prevented me pretty much being able to do anything except for the most basic of tasks. But some web pages didn't load, and most of them didn't load correctly. Now, the reason why this device was killed off on iOS 9 is because there was no way that it could ever support iOS 10. The device was so slow, it was so bad, and it was to the point where Apple couldn't keep this thing updated. They destroyed it with iOS 9, and it really became became a bad device. So going back and using this device was definitely nice. There were features of it that I did like being able to, I don't know, just being able to go back to the blue color, whoopsies, that was originally on these iPods. So I'm not doing this again. Chances are, would I recommend that you go out and buy an iPod 5 in 2019? No! You have to be out of your friggin' mind to not listen to that advice, because this device, it sucks. Don't buy it. For your own sanity, just don't buy it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.